Clark Kent, Superman, stands in the dark, psyching himself up for what he initially tells himself is just another routine brawl or game to win. Realizing the stakes are much higher, Superman prepares special equipment, combat knuckles embedded with miniature raging suns harvested from empty universes. Having survived countless cosmic wars against gods and titans, he walks through a glowing doorway ready for whatever the massive multiversal tournament demands, only to be caught off guard by what lies ahead.
Clark Kent, Diana, and Bruce Wayne are hanging out casually, playing a board game together. Clark lands on a green space that Diana playfully identifies as kryptonite, forcing him to move back. Clark also notices all the power-ups on the board are Batman-themed and suspects Bruce rigged the game. Lois Lane watches the group, noting that Clark dislikes games unless everyone wins, but expresses how glad she is that they can all spend some downtime together away from saving the world.
The friendly game night continues as Lois encourages everyone to play to win, though Clark ends up groaning after Diana rolls a winning 12. An hour passes with the group gathered close to the Watchtower finish line, laughing, sharing personal stories, and acting like a regular family rather than superheroes. Right as Diana is about to make what could be her winning roll, Lois abruptly asks why it is suddenly so bright outside. The room is instantly bathed in an ominous red light, causing Clark, Bruce, Diana, and Lois to look up in shock and alarm. Suddenly, their peaceful game night is interrupted by the appearance of their greatest enemy, Darkseid, looming large and destructive over the city. Darkseid is vastly more powerful than before, appearing almost as an entire universe of power given form, transforming everything around him. Superman and Wonder Woman charge forward to fight, but deep down, Superman senses that this terrifying encounter is completely different from anything they have faced before.
Darkseid attacks multiple locations simultaneously, including Gotham, Themyscira, the Rock of Eternity, and Oa, becoming an omnipresent force of pure destruction. One by one, DC's greatest heroes fall against this godlike threat, with Bruce falling first, followed by Diana. Even as Superman rushes toward Darkseid at Mach 7, he is struck by a terrifying, unprecedented blast that ultimately defeats him as well. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and other heroes stand before a cosmic council known as the Quantum Quorum, featuring the World Forger, Time Trapper / Doomsday, Grodd, and Booster Gold. The council explains that they combine their chronal powers to rewind time by 7 days because Darkseid conquered the future and is currently traveling back through time to this moment. Despite the time travel, the Time Trapper reveals they have explored every variation of the timeline, and no matter what they try, Darkseid always consumes them and it all ends in this exact moment. Gorilla Grodd bluntly tells the heroes that since they always lose after 1,000 tries, their only option is to give up and start over. The temporal beings propose using their remaining energy to create an entirely new timeline for the heroes, though Mr. Terrific and others question if they would even remain the same people. The Time Trapper notes that a similar universal reset happened once before during the New 52, but ultimately a fresh start means everything would be completely new. Batman and the heroes reject the idea of hiding or running away in a bubble, demanding to know how Darkseid became so powerful. The Time Trapper explains that the universe runs on twin primordial energies, Alpha, creation, and Omega, conquest and control. Darkseid bonded with Omega energy eons ago, and by turning Earth into a new apocalypse, he has transformed into King Omega, a walking singularity holding absolute power. The Council warns that Earth is already transforming as Darkseid approaches, with the heart of Apocalypse growing at the planet's center. Batman suggests using that core to empower one of their own heroes similarly to Darkseid, though the Council dismisses it because the heart only serves Darkseid. Because Booster Gold was trapped with Darkseid for years, Watchtower readings show he is brimming with Omega energy and could potentially use it to cosmically defibrillate the heart. The World Forger explains that because the living, fourth-dimensional heart of Apocalypse is sentient and fueled solely by conquest, it would reject heroes and automatically defend itself. Instead of fighting standard monsters like parademons, the heart would reshape itself to test them by creating a tournament of escalating challenges. To prove they are worthy and find an ultimate champion capable of facing Darkseid, the heroes would have to fight and defeat each other first. Batman realizes that whoever wins the tournament and defeats Darkseid will gain the power to reshape the universe and potentially bring back everything and everyone that was lost. Booster Gold urges them on, explaining that having been held prisoner in Darkseid's absolute realm for eons, he knows that fighting fire with fire is the only way to stop him. The Council warns that winning the tournament requires absolute conquest with no mercy or compassion.
Looking around at his fellow heroes, Superman firmly rejects the idea, stating, "Forget it, we're not doing this," as he walks away.
Superman looks out at Earth, acknowledging with Batman and Wonder Woman that the planet already belongs to Darkseid. Clark worries about what would happen if villains like the Joker or Lex Luthor entered the tournament and gained ultimate power. Wonder Woman reminds Clark that they previously transformed the Phantom Zone into a place of healing to keep their adversaries safe. Superman raises a critical dilemma. If they leave to compete in this deadly tournament, who will protect the world while they are gone?
Batman and Wonder Woman discuss whether entering the tournament could actually work, urging Clark to consider it. Clark recalls the horrific sound that stopped him in his tracks during the battle, every heart on Earth suddenly beating in a single, eerie, unified rhythm controlled by Darkseid. Batman and Wonder Woman frame the tournament not as a brutal death match against each other, but as a game where they fight against Darkseid to win together, echoing Lois's sentiment about games. On the first day of their preparation, Mr. Terrific deploys modified T-spheres to round up and secure the world's most dangerous criminals. While Mr. Terrific hates having to take this action, he accepts that it is a necessary measure to ensure fairness and safety. Mr. Terrific's T-spheres silently home in on major villains across the globe who have a watchtower power level of 6 or higher. Famous villains are intercepted and locked down in various locations, including the Joker and Killer Croc at Arkham Tower, King Shark at Belle Reef Prison, and Lex Luthor at Nanda Parbat. All of these high-threat adversaries are successfully neutralized and removed from the game board to prevent them from interfering. The heroes meet world leaders and major companies like LexCorp and Wayne Industries to coordinate building mega-arcs for a massive global evacuation plan. Clark addresses the world as their chosen speaker, vowing that they will win and that Earth will still be protected by the Titans and Mr. Terrific while they are gone. Closing his speech, Clark passionately tells the world that despite its flaws and messiness, this universe is worth fighting for just the way it is. On the fourth day, the heroes spend precious time with their families. As Clark walks with Lois, John, and Kara through the city, he reminds himself that they are fighting for everyone around them. Clark listens to the diverse, scared heartbeats of the people and nature around him, alongside an ominous, growing crackle of fire beneath the planet. On the fifth day, the heroes prepare for the upcoming tournament by visiting war rooms, bunkers, and sacred vaults to select their gear. Batman goes on the offensive with the Justice Buster 2. Wonder Woman chooses strategic preparation with the God Killer armor, and Cyborg opts for a defensive Father Box upgrade. Choosing what feels right, Clark equips his custom combat knuckles, holding on to the belief that this is a game they can all win together. On the sixth day, with the villains locked away and the world fortified, the time to act has arrived. Over 100 of the world's heroes, humans, aliens, gods, and monsters, set off together without mercy. Though they are close friends, they fly toward the tournament knowing they will soon have to compete against one another without mercy. The heroes arrive at the Skartaris Nexus, a passage leading down to the center of the Earth where the heart of Apocalypse thrums. Booster Gold fires a massive blast of Omega energy into the core to trigger a cosmic heart attack. As a massive wave of energy and swell fills the chamber, Batman and the heroes anxiously watch to see if the blast worked. Booster Gold's blast successfully triggers the heart's defense mechanism, bringing the heroes to the start of the tournament arena. Gigantic gatekeepers warn the combatants that crossing early lets them move on while the rest perish, setting the stage for brutal elimination. As the Hellmace drops to start the contest, Superman finds himself immediately paired up against Shazam, Billy Batson, in the opening round. The signal is given, and the deadly contest officially starts. Superman is sent flying by an explosive impact as the arena falls into immediate chaos. Distracted and caught off guard, Clark is struck, prompting Batman, in his armor, to yell at him to stay focused on the game. Realizing Bruce is right, Clark pushes forward through the booby-trap tiles and Goliath weapons to generate the Omega energy needed to win. Other heroes rush into the fray, with characters like Batman plowing through obstacles and various fighters triggering explosive traps. As damage takes its toll and heroes are hit by traps, Clark reminds himself to keep seeing it as a game to push through. This final fold-out page showcases the chaotic, sweeping overview of the heroes battling through the brutal tournament. Heroes and adversaries fight fiercely across the multi-tiered landscape, navigating deadly traps, Omega demons, and intense hand-to-hand combat to survive and push forward. A flag unfurls with a bang as a powerful blast knocks Clark off his feet. When Clark looks up, he is shocked to find that villains like the Joker, Lex Luthor, King Shark, and Cheetah have somehow made it onto the field. Clark discovers a defeated and heavily injured Batman, who delivers his final words before the tragic realization sets in. Giganta, the Joker, and Lex Luthor rush toward the finish line, leaving Clark with no time to figure out how they escaped. Before crossing the finish line, Lex Luthor turns and gives Superman a smile filled with pity, essentially telling him to leave the saving to them. Remembering Bruce's words, Superman's fists curl as he completely loses control, blasting through the Titans, Omega Demons, and the heart itself to the sound of his own heavy heartbeat. Fueled by rage and despair, Clark crosses the finish line just in time to secure the last spot around the fire pits.
The page displays a grid featuring all 32 champions who made it through the gauntlet, including a mix of heroes and villains like Superman, Lex Luthor, the Joker, and Wonder Woman. The bracket sets the stage for the next phase of the tournament to determine who will ultimately win and be crowned King Omega.
The Heart of Apocalypse speaks directly, revealing itself as the entity that crowned Darkseid long ago. The Heart claims it already knows who will fall, what twists and turns await the champions, and the many surprises to come. The narrator introduces Darkseid's terrifying 3 destroyers, monstrous horsemen from a world where his rule is absolute. The Heart reveals a grim final truth. None of the heroes, not Clark, Diana, Mari, or Eel, will actually win. The issue concludes with the unsettling revelation that there is one last hidden champion lurking among them.
The hidden final champion is revealed to be Darkseid himself, who has taken the form of one of their own. With Darkseid infiltrated among them, the issue closes on a chilling note. The tournament isn't even beginning, because it is already over.